live. Look at that.
Are we live?
Live to the internet.
Okay.
What do we do now? Oh, God.
Let's get out of here quick.
Do. Oh.
Let's get out of here.
Let's do it. Hello and welcome to episode number 946 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, January 14th, 2025. With me, as always, is the birthday boy himself from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
I get introduced first today, Greg.
Because it's your special
I'm a
birthday.
special boy.
Yeah, your special birthday wish is to be
finally be the second person announced on the Player One podcast.
Yeah.
Now today,
yeah,
as we record, is not my birthday.
It isn't. No, but it's going to be.
But the date of this episode.
Yeah.
The date that you so recently mentioned.
Yes.
Is my birthday.
That's right.
So.
Yeah. Everybody wish Phil a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Phil.
I'm just waiting for everyone else.
Phil.
Hold on.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You'll wait now.
Thank you.
Chat.
Thank you. Well, I'm waiting for all the folks listening.
Joining me from the great country of Canada, Mr. Greg Seward.
Hello.
How's it going there, sir?
It's all right.
Yeah. Okay.
Could be worse. Could be better.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
What do you mean you can see that? What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah,
They got mirrors up in Canada, don't they?
Isn't that how
Not
we
in this
all
house.
are right now? So could be better, could be worse.
Yeah, it feels more worse
how I'm
than better a lot lately. But
Oh my goodness.
That's
Anyway.
not good.
no,
Did I
But,
mention it's my birthday? That should make you feel better.
the inexorable march of time. Yeah, that makes me feel better.
That's how it works. A slow tromp towards the crypt.
That's right.
Now you didn't, CJ.
Yeah.
In my birthday hullabaloo, you didn't mention my age.
Well, I didn't want to embarrass you, Phil.
Is it the big 5-0 this year?
I hit it. Yeah.
Is
I will
really?
be. Well, theoretically.
You're old.
Assuming.
Remember when we made fun of Mike Phillips for being over 50?
Assuming nothing goes catastrophically wrong in the next 2 days, I will be 50. Yes.
I have 2 more years.
No.
I have 2 more years.
Yeah. I'm just a baby.
You know what? You know what sucks?
What's that?
Is the big realization I'm having hitting 50 is again, assuming things go well, I still got like 30, 35 more years of this.
I mean,
Yeah.
your healthcare system's working on fixing that problem. So
Well, that
mean-
is true. They're ready to deny.
And I mean,
you.
based on the average life expectancy in your country, I think 30 years would be generous.
Oh.
We're like 26.
I'll see what I can do to trim some of that down a bit.
Yeah. I'm trying to. I'm.
Speaking of which, a new flavor of Oreo has been announced.
There you go.
I've been trying to be healthier.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I've lost 20 pounds since October.
Really?
Fuck you, CJ.
You lose them?
I have.
You lose them off
can't
your
find
big
them
fat
anywhere.
head?
What?
You lose them off your big fat head?
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, I can
Got a
tell.
Haircut.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
So that's good. Maybe
Yes.
living a more healthy 2025.
Sure.
That's what I'm going for.
Sure.
Anyway, I don't know if it'll end up being one, but we'll see.
We'll find
all
out.
right. Should we talk about some video game stuff?
I mean, this has been pretty
Yeah.
depressing otherwise, so we probably should.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's talk about this because wow, it's until the Switch 2 gets announced, it's going to be slim pickings for news. Let's just talk about Switch 2. Fuck it. All right. So
Whoa.
CES happened
Jeez.
last week. if you remember, the Consumer Electronics Show happens
CES, wow.
happens every year in Las Vegas, beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And a company called Genki
I've heard of Genki.
Yeah.
happened to
They've been around a long
have
time.
like I don't know, not even like a dummy model of what they think the Switch 2 is. And we're showing it off to people, and they released a couple of videos of like the magnetic Joy-Con popping in and things like that. And Nintendo's lawyers showed up apparently, and
you
gotta figure that's gonna happen.
But I don't understand. Like, is this the same Genki that's been around for a long time, or is this another?
No.
Okay, I
This
was
is a
gonna
different
say.
Genki.
But
You're talking about like the Tokyo Extreme.
Yeah,
version of
yeah.
Genki? No,
Yeah.
this is a
Okay.
different one.
But I just,
No, this is a
I don't
third
know. It's so
party
weird to
accessory
me that
manufacturer.
like we're in a time where a third party manufacturer would show mock-ups of a console that hasn't been
announced.
announced yet. Like, well, ballsy's one word for it. Stupid is another one.
Stupid. Also,
Or,
it's really in
irresponsible,
bad faith.
bad faith.
It's really in bad faith.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
If you're the kind of company that is just going to be like, we're going to show off a dummy unit of what we think the Switch 2 is going to be, and
yeah. It's funny because I shared a video on our Discord this week, and CJ, I think you mentioned that you were actually at, and Phil, you probably were too. We're at these Chicago CES in 1992, where this video came from. It was a handheld, as they were back in the day. So at old, back in the 90s, the trade shows and things like that, there were actually people who would go there with camcorders and just record a ton of footage, and then they would like sell copies online. You could buy them, so you could get a glimpse of what was at the show.
This was before online was a thing.
Well, that's what that's what I'm saying. Anyway, so because there was a video that sort of popped up in my feed over this past week that was like a Sega CD sizzle reel from 1992. So it would have been like 6 months before the system came out in the US. And I just thought it was interesting to watch because, there were a lot of games there that were mentioned that either never came out, or, a lot of the Sega CD or the Sega games that were coming on Sega CD that were planned for Sega CD, like sequels and stuff, were just like cartridge game footage,
Right.
like Joe Montana football CD, which was oft delayed and wasn't very good when it came out. But it was kind of notable how they just had footage of Joe Montana football that had been released in like either December 1990 or January 1991, and that was what they chose to use as footage in this sizzle reel, even though Joe Montana 2 had been out for like 6 to 8 months at this point and looked completely different. So, but it kind of got me in some conversations with a few other people that I kind of shared it around to and everything, about how we used to not have an endless stream of information and rumors, and since everybody didn't have a phone or a video camera in their pocket, like these snippets were how we learned things about these games. And if you were lucky enough to see a video like this back in 92, which again, out of the three of us, I never would have seen the sizzle reel back then because I wasn't buying those videotapes, and there was no other way to see it in video unless for some reason the news channel that you happened to watch might have, or some show you watch might have been there and taken some footage and shown it on TV. Right. But like now we're in this cycle where I don't even pay attention to most of these rumors anymore because it's just so overloaded, and so much of it is bullshit. And like I don't know. I was kind of pining for not being overly I don't know.
This video, Greg, was this on the YouTubes?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just looked up like Sega CD 1992 CES on YouTube and found this video. Someone, it's footage from like the TurboGrafx booth and the Sega booth.
That's the same video. Yeah.
And I'm sitting here watching there's Joe Montana there. Yeah. I was absolutely at this CES, and oh my God, there's the Cool World. Yes.
Yep. Cool World, which is just a couple of shots of the movie.
Yeah.
not
this
any game.
bank of 9 TV screens right above a giant Sega CD logo.
Yeah.
I remember that display. I remember standing there and watching this.
We were probably standing right next to each other, Phil. Because
Probably.
I think I watched that a half dozen times because
Oh,
it was such
same
an
here.
awesome
Absolutely.
sizzle reel, and they had the "Smells Like Teen Spirit" by Nirvana going,
Playing, yeah.
and it was just such an awesome sizzle reel, especially like when Sewer Shark came up. It was like, whoa, is that real? This is the future, man.
Anyway, I mean,
there's
it's
fast
a
forward
bit of nostalgia for those days, but also just like I don't know that we're better off at this point with these endless rumors, and I don't know. You never know what's real. It's weird. It just feels weird to me.
Well, the thing about, I mean, how long? What has it been? Like 3 years since we first started hearing about the Switch Pro from a lot of this rumor mill
Right.
that never happened. Not that it didn't exist, but it just never actually happened. So now this sort of same rumor mill, a lot of the same people are like, oh, Switch 2 is going to get announced anytime now, and it's going to be available in April. I mean, I want Nintendo to announce it. I'm not expecting it in April. If it happens, sure. But Nintendo, like, oftentimes the leaks don't match the information that is reality when it happens, right? Switch Pro, good example of that. Who knows how old some of this information is that people are bandying about now. So I mean, hell yeah, I want them to announce it. I'm ready to buy. Take my money, please. Like, and shit, it's gonna be so freaking hard to get a Switch 2 in 2025. Like, I'm not looking forward to the shortages and finding a freaking system. Because the scalpers.
Well, that's how shopping is now. So
scalpers are going to be out in force.
Yep.
But yeah, there's a lot of that going on, and I'm just kind of I don't put too much stock in it. And
no, although I will say that if this is something that is coming from a partner who's putting together,
it's
like
not
an official partner or something, like
it's not.
Yeah, either way.
Like Genki is not an official accessory maker. There's no way. So
either way, I hope if it is a real thing, I hope Nintendo sues them into oblivion. Just saying.
I hope so too. I hope so too. All right, let's talk about another Nintendo announcement here, because Lego and Nintendo have announced a new console. Not the Switch 2. It's a Lego Game Boy.
That's great.
Yes.
I'm very excited for this.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Did you guys see the little the video teaser?
That
they put up.
Oh,
looks kind of cool.
It's quite a teaser. It's literally a tease.
It's
2 buttons and the cross. That's it.
Yep.
Now, is it going to be the size of a Game Boy? Is it going to be bigger?
I'm assuming it's going to be 1-1 because the
1-1.
Really? Oh,
I believe so. I should bust out because
I guess a 1-1 Game Boy, that's not going to be that small. The Game Boy was pretty big.
The piece that they show that they're using for the D-pad, it's a 3x3 cross piece, which it's an existing piece. All you'd have to do is you don't even need that particular brick. You just need a 3x1 plate and hold it up against the actual Game Boy, which I could easily do. So I should do that and see. Picturing it in my mind though, I think it's probably roughly 1-1 scale. So
yeah, and then are they going to have something on the screen? Like, what do you think we'll be building? Tetris, maybe?
That would make the most sense.
That would make the most sense. Or Super Mario
it would
Land.
also require extra licensing.
Oh, that's also true.
But
Tetris license.
Yeah, so Mario would probably make more sense. But that's been one of the nice things about all these sort of Lego console builds is that they always have something kind of cool, something kind of fun, hidden in there somewhere. So
yeah, I'm actually here. curious to see what they do with the screen on this.
And if it's 1-1-1, it'll be fairly small.
Well, that's the thing. It won't be a very big build.
Unless
if
you're
that's the case.
doing something,
Which is good
in
because
addition.
that means a cheaper set.
Yeah.
You think
sure.
it'll? Well, yeah, it might be cheaper.
I mean, when I say cheaper
Yeah.
set, I still mean it's probably going to be about $100.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which qualifies as a cheaper set now.
Yeah, on the scale of adult aimed Lego collector sets, they're practically giving that away. So
yeah. My gosh.
When are we getting our Lego Sega Genesis? What the hell's going on? What's
I
taking so
know.
long?
I'm a little surprised we haven't already.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, they're obviously very much partnered with Sega at this point.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of.
Well, maybe Sega doesn't want to be a retro company, Greg.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're looking forward,
Isn't
not
it-
back.
Right after that quote hit, they with My Arcade announced a whole bunch of retro arcade cabinets. They're like mini arcade cabinets
Mm-hmm.
for Sonic and Outrun and all this other stuff. So I guess they are retro still.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if Sega's not making those.
Yeah, they're not making them. No.
I did just buy a Sonic the Hedgehog Lego set.
I did not know that My Arcade existed. This is interesting.
Oh my arcade's been around for a while.
Didn't we talk about them last week?
I don't
did.
listen to half the
We
things you
talked
guys
about
say.
that.
We
Yeah,
did.
the Atari Game Station Go.
Well, I didn't know that. Okay, but I
My
didn't know
Arcade
that they
thing.
did this stuff too.
Oh yeah, they've been doing stuff.
They
for
only
years.
do this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about this then, because Microsoft looks like some more Xbox IP is making its way to other consoles. This one, I guess, kind of tied into the Switch 2 rumor mill. Nintendo Switch 2 is reportedly getting 2 major Xbox games, including Halo.
So does this signal we are really getting out of hardware? Because I mean, this is the
No.
flagship game, isn't it?
I think they'll do both hardware and they'll.
But do you
continue
think
making
that
games
they'll
for it.
continue? I see. We were talking about this on the weekend, and I think that too. I think they'll probably do one more round at least.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that's going to be it.
I mean, considering their
Maybe.
recent ad campaign was basically just saying,
Right.
well, everything's an Xbox.
Right. That's
Yeah.
kind of my thinking.
Yeah.
They'll do another round of it, but yeah, I mean, probably, yeah. Maybe they can get into the mini gaming.
I love how
PC
CJ's
handheld.
agreeing and disagreeing with our stance at the exact same time. But
You know, these PC handhelds are a popular thing, and if Microsoft wanted to make hardware, maybe they could enter in that market, right? I mean, they're a fairly big hardware manufacturer on the PC side anyway, what with their Surface notebooks and such. So maybe, but the two rumored games are Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and Halo, the Master Chief Collection, rumored to be coming to Nintendo Switch 2 and PS5. Yeah. I wonder if this means Sea of Thieves could come to the Nintendo Switch 2. That's what I'm excited about.
I imagine that. Yeah, I imagine that if the Switch had been capable of doing it, it would already be on the Nintendo consoles.
You're probably right.
So
yeah,
if Switch 2 can handle it, I think you'll definitely see it on there.
Awesome. Is that a Larrabee lock, Greg?
I don't know. Let's find out. We'll find out in April.
Okay.
My lock this year is already Mario Kart 9. So
yeah, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, a little bit of a strange title to be bringing to other platforms like this, but I guess it's not Gears.
I thought the rumor was
Starfield.
Gears was coming too.
I thought that was the rumor too, but
No.
this particular one is not saying that.
Hmm.
But again, this is from the Switch 2 rumor mill. Nate the Hate may not actually come true. Who knows? All right. Let's talk about this. House of the Dead 2
Suffer like G did.
is getting a remake, and
it's more like
coming out.
Suffer like G did. You got to do the voice, Greg.
No.
Come on.
It's coming out this spring for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC.
So does this mean that we're getting light guns?
Of course not.
Boo.
Yeah, what's the
But
point?
You can use your Joy-Con.
Why isn't it
As a
coming out
pointer.
on PlayStation VR 2? That's what I'm wondering.
Well,
Because that would be great.
that would be cool to have a
You
VR
know
mode.
why it's not.
Yeah,
I
know.
mean, why not? You could do it, right? Just to have the 2D image with a small 3D environment. You could probably do that pretty easily.
Or they should at least,
I'm clearly a game developer. Know how easy it is to do that.
or they should at least support like the
All you,
VR, the
all you have
VR2
to do is click
controllers as light
export
guns.
to VR.
That's right.
They should support the VR controllers as light guns. That would be great.
Yes, they should.
They should. That would be pretty awesome. So yeah, it's got
They won't, but they should.
modern graphics, faithful to the original game, a co-op mode, all that good stuff. Boss mode, a training mode. Yeah, it's House of the Dead 2. Look at that.
Oh,
It's awesome.
Carl.
House of the Dead 2 is fantastic.
It is.
Yes, it is. All right, let's talk about games done quick, shall we?
Never heard of it.
Greg, you put this on the outline,
No, I didn't.
or did Phil?
No, I didn't.
One
this
of you definitely did.
What is this?
I absolutely did not.
This is games done
Because
quick.
I learned about it by seeing it on the outline.
This is Games Done Quick 2020. I put it on the outline.
Okay.
You goofs. Yeah, awesome games done quick is happening, and the other day, they were doing a Crazy Taxi speed run through the Crazy Box mode,
Yeah.
and they
not
had
easy.
a live band performing the soundtrack.
So some Offspring, some Bad Religion.
Exactly those two, yes.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. The
Nice.
CJ's playing the video right now, not the audio, which of course is the important part of
True.
a live band performance. But we don't want to get flagged for copyright, I assume. But
Yeah. People
But,
can go to the GDQ account and
Yes.
watch this. I will link to it in the show notes.
and it was genuinely amazing. And
Yeah,
there
I'm
was
gonna have to go watch this.
there's a huge, well, I mean, not huge, but there was a big crowd of people behind them. They're all cheering and kind of, doing some light moshing, some light charity event moshing. And it was, like a genuinely beautiful experience seeing this performed. And obviously they're raising charity money throughout this, through the whole thing. So Yeah.
This one for the Prevent Cancer Foundation.
yeah, the Prevent. If you're, make sure you donate to the Prevent Cancer Foundation.
Yeah, always.
Because the other
important to
one,
check.
they try to trick you, but it's the Prevent Cancer organization that you
Man.
want.
Yeah.
A Crazy Taxi speedrun will be so difficult. Holy
Oh, yeah.
crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, watch any of the GDQ speedruns with games you're familiar
Yeah,
with.
I know.
and
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
prepare
and
to
this-
be impressed.
And
holy.
this is specifically going through the Crazy Box
Just
mode.
because you've got the momentum to deal with when you're trying to come to a stop, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's crazy. Anyway,
I mean,
Taxi.
it's right there in the name of the game.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it was also, it's hilarious too, because, it's Crazy Box. So, the point of Crazy Box is you have like a dozen different little goals you have to do.
Yeah.
And some of the runs are very, very short because you can accomplish those goals relatively quickly. So they would start up a song and they'd get like 30 seconds into the song and then it ends and then they would just kind of peter out of the song.
That's awesome.
And then when the next event starts up, they just go into the next song on the soundtrack. So it was
cool.
really, really fun.
Cool.
And quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned, now the only way to play Crazy Taxi. So when Sega finally gets around to doing this new Crazy Taxi game, I think I'm going to have to hire some punk band to come hang out in my house and just
Definitely
play Offspring songs.
And Bad
while I
Religion.
play.
Cool.
Yeah, good stuff.
Well, that's it for the news.
Well, all right.
Alrighty, so let's talk about what we've been playing. I'll go first. Phil, you'll be happy to know.
I'm delighted by this.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be happy to know
This is great.
that I booted up.
I love it.
Thank
Tell me
goodness-
more.
Thank goodness you're here on the Steam Deck.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
You did it.
I did it. I was like, well, I'm not really in the mood to play anything.
Yeah.
I'll load up this game.
Well, there you go.
I was like, I should play something.
Yeah.
What should I play?
Yeah.
I'll boot up. Thank goodness you're here. So I booted it up and
Yeah.
played a bunch of it. I played like an hour of it.
Okay.
Of course, really fun. The first part of it I had already played because that was the demo during Steam Next Fest.
Oh,
so
okay.
that first little bit I had
Yeah.
done, but what a great game!
It's fantastic.
What a great game!
It
I don't
is.
think I'm in as much love with it as you are, but I
Right,
do
but you
think-
hate people from England.
and that's not true.
You've been
That is not true.
very vocal
No.
about that in the past.
No.
Yeah.
I am all about England and its territories. Just put a British flag behind me. I watch the Great British Baking Show.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'll have you know.
Okay,
and
okay.
Taskmaster.
Who's your favorite doctor? You love England so
Yeah,
much.
That's a big blind spot for me. Doctor Who. Big blind spot. Don't have any.
Don't you
Doctor
prefer
Who.
the American Office, CJ?
Everybody should prefer the American Office.
Because it's patently
better.
It's better than the UK Office. But I did watch the UK Office before the US one started. Now I can't watch it at all. I can't watch the UK Office anymore.
No.
I just get
I-
annoyed.
When
by
I
it.
ask you
just
what
do
your
not like
favorite
it.
Simon Pegg, Nick Frost vehicle is, you say Paul.
Nope. Shaun of the Dead. Definitely not Paul. I did see Paul in the theater,
Of course, yes.
though. I
Yeah.
don't remember any of it.
There's an alien in it.
I know that there's
Seth
All right.
Rogen is the alien.
I did know that.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
But even my daughter has seen Shaun of the Dead. She loves that movie.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how
Well,
you know-
we watched it with Finn this year.
That's how you know she's my daughter. She loves Shaun of the Dead and Army of Darkness and Die Hard.
Well, there you go.
We got to watch Hot Fuzz next. Yes,
Hot Fuzz is a good movie.
that'll be good. So anyway, yeah, play. Thank goodness you're here. I'll continue playing it. I hear it's not long, so
No, you might be about half done with it if you
Oh, really?
spend an hour. Yeah, it's like 2-3 hours.
okay.
You know, maybe
Well, I will see it through.
maybe closer to 3 the first time, since you're, probably exploring a little more, and you might
Yeah. Well,
not
a lot
know
of it is
exactly
like
where to go.
trial and error, and yeah, I don't know where to go. And yes, somebody mentions something. I'm like, okay, I'm looking for the meat shop.
Yes,
That's like
Yep.
every hint.
and then you're
looking
trying to
for
just
the
remember,
meat
like,
shop.
which way do I go to get to the meat shop?
Yeah, exactly. Which way do I
yeah.
go? And this pathway is now not blocked by a car, so I can go through there
Exactly.
and check that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of trial and error, but really funny. Matt Berry's in this quite a
He
bit,
is.
right?
He is.
Cool.
He's the
Always good.
gardener.
Are you sure he's not a couple of roles?
I mean, he might be doing a couple roles, but like,
He's definitely the gardener.
yeah, he's absolutely, yeah. That's like his main character in the game is the gardener. He might be doing a couple smaller voices, but
Okay.
yeah, the
Okay.
gardener is like his big character in the game.
Cool. I am not finished with What We Do in the Shadows season, what is it, 5 or 6 now?
The current one,
The final one, yeah.
final one, yes.
Final season. But I
I
have
did
really
show so
enjoyed it. It's
good.
very much back to the season 1 and 2 antics of the
Yes,
Yeah.
entire crew. I love that show. It's,
yes, we
it's
did.
great.
We did finish that.
I need to
It's very
finish it. I'm currently watching the March Madness episode,
Okay,
which I think is towards the end anyway.
I don't remember, but
I don't think there are a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but anyway.
it's modern television. There's not a
sad
lot
that
of
it's-
episodes.
sad that
Period.
it's ending. Oh man, and we didn't talk about Lower Decks. I'm so sad that Can I just say I'm going to use my what you've been playing section to just lament Lower Decks ending.
Talking about Lower Decks. That's
but
fine.
My daughter does want to try Strange New Worlds.
Okay.
She's like, let's try that because it's modern Trek. It's going to be faster moving. And
Yeah.
we did try it before, but she said when we watched it before, I didn't even know. I didn't have any background for the characters or any of the terminology of Star Trek. And Lower Decks is basically like introduced all of that to her, which I love Lower Decks also. I'm a huge fan now.
Well, Strange New Worlds is quite good.
I have heard that. Yeah, and we already watched the Lower Decks episode of that. So
there you go. You already are vaguely familiar with the crew.
Vaguely familiar. All right. Well, I remember the first episode that we watched. I know the crew.
Let me give you a little Star Trek insider knowledge.
Do it.
So Lower Decks.
Yeah.
Commander Ransom. The first officer. Number 1 on the Cerritos. You know who does his voice?
Yes, I do. Jerry O'Connell.
Jerry O'Connell. And he is married
Rebecca Romaine.
To Rebecca Romaine, who is the first officer on Strange New Worlds.
I did know that, yes.
Okay. So there you go.
Yeah. Good stuff. We watched a couple of the post show interviews that Will Wheaton did with the cast. Because my daughter's also a big fan of Jack Quaid. Because he also voices Clark Kent on that new Adventures.
My Adventures with Superman.
My Adventures with Superman. So, although there's a new Jack Quaid movie about some kind of like robot, like a pleasure bot thing. It's a horror movie. I'm like, well, I saw that Jack Quaid was in it. I was like, oh, I should watch this trailer. Do see if my daughter would. No, definitely not appropriate for my daughter.
Boimler gets a sex bot.
Yeah.
That's just a Lower Decks episode.
But there's a lot of blood and gore and.
Oh, well, you're doing something wrong with your sex bot.
Yeah.
If it results in a lot of blood and gore.
It looks like it's going to be an
hope that's still under
movie.
warranty.
I mean, I don't want to kink shame or anything, but.
Not what I expected when I clicked on Jack Quaid is in this trailer. So, but anyway, so I played Thank Goodness You're Here.
Yeah.
You should play that, everybody, because it's fun.
Too late, I already did.
Well, you play it again.
I played it like 3 times. What do you want from me?
Again, I want you to play it a 4th time. All right, I mean, and then I played Void Crew. So Void Crew, I've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now. It's kind of like Sea of Thieves, but in space. Played but it's sort of a roguelike as well. So you just kind of start out and it gives you different missions that kind of split off into other missions. And we played on a smaller ship with 4 people and it went exceedingly well. We finished a run, beat the boss at the end, which was great, and started a new run. And they have a Christmas event going on right now.
But it's not Christmas anymore.
Well, I know. People are just getting back in the office, though, and all that stuff was, done months ago.
Why would you play this while you're in the office? You're supposed to be working.
They're still. I'm talking about the developers of Void Crew. They haven't ended the event yet.
Back in the office for 3 weeks.
They have this event where you jump to this area and the enemy is all decked out in garland,
Sunday best,
and lights and all this stuff. And the name of the ship that you have to destroy is S4NT A or an NT4, S4NT4. Santa in Leet speak. And so you destroy the ship that's got garlands on it and everything. A couple enemies show up that also have Christmas lights on their ship.
When you destroy the ship, do millions of children cry on Christmas morning?
No.
Okay. No, but and then you get a holiday loot box. You get a little box that has a holiday item in it, and our best friend Mike got a Christmas tree pattern for his spacesuit. And also a Santa hat. He has a helmet that has a Santa hat now. And
Now
I
y'all
have
know
like
it's like the middle of January, right?
I know.
was gonna
Yeah.
say,
They haven't ended.
for
They
next
haven't ended
year,
the
or
event. They have not ended the event, and we're still able to get the Christmas stuff. So,
Oh, just in time for Valentine's Day.
I wonder if they'll do a Valentine's event. That would be cool too.
It probably sometime in May.
Yeah. Then they'll do
Yep.
Earth Day
Yeah.
after that.
Uh,
But Void Crew, really, really fun with 4 players. It very much like Star Trek Bridge Crew. Like I'm saying, tons of fun. It's available on Steam now. I imagine it'll come to consoles. And Greg, you should definitely play it. You should play with your best friend Mike and me, and we'll have fun. I almost guarantee it. It'll be good.
almost guarantees are not legally binding.
Almost,
Don't worry,
yeah,
Greg.
not legally binding. No,
It's an almost
not
guarantee.
not a full guarantee.
No.
Partial guarantee. All right, and that's all I've been playing. So, Greg,
That's a lot to take in, guys.
What Star
Really
Trek have you been watching?
Really disrupted my web browsing.
Right.
So this week, playing more of A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead. I think I'm on. Actually, I went and looked it up. So I'm on the 3rd to last level now, and I'm still really enjoying it a lot. Actually, they've been adding new gameplay elements. They're still adding them. The most recent thing is that now I found out that the creatures can search for you even and find you even when you're not moving, not making any noise. So
Hold on a second.
They can't see you. It's kind of like echolocation is the idea. So they stand still and they emit a sound.
Okay.
And if you move while they're doing that,
so even being quiet in the quiet place doesn't help you.
they can well, you're still being quiet because you're not moving.
Okay.
But yeah, they can locate you. So basically it's kind of similar to any other stealth game where you get into an area where you can be seen, so you need to stand still or hide or something like that, because up until this point it's all about just not making any noise. And the whole reason they do that is because I was in a section where, and they hint at this very early in the game, you read notes about how there is a waterfall nearby at the hospital that you were living in that people would go to every now and then because the waterfall is so loud that they can actually use their voices.
Oh, I see.
Speak to each other at a regular volume, and one of the big thing was singing. They can sing because that's a thing that you wouldn't be able to do. Music wouldn't exist in the quiet place. So
you should go chasing waterfalls.
Exactly.
Okay.
So anyway, I gotten through like this whole sort of camp area where something awful happened, because that's how this game works, and got to this waterfall, and it was kind of interesting story wise because the character just kind of broke down with the grief that she was suffering from sort of everything that had happened up to that point. But so you're in this area now, you're in like a dam, and because the ambient noise is so high, you don't need to be super careful through here. So, which is nice. It's actually a really nice change of pace that doesn't really change up the game mechanics too much. Like, it still fits within the world. You know what I mean? And again, they sort of mention it early on in the game. So to make things still a little bit dangerous is when you realize that actually these creatures do have the ability to echolocate. But they're standing still while they do it too. So it's like when you're moving around, when you see them begin to do a very specific thing, a very specific action, you just kind of have to stop dead and, make sure that I hope that you stopped in time, which is cool. I really enjoyed it. But it's funny. There was definitely a very video game moment when I got into this one area. So when you're in the dam, you're working your way around. You have to get to there's a bridge over this raging river. It's a rail bridge, and of course it's destroyed, and there's destroyed train cars all over the place. And so it's like, well, I need to get from here to the other side. I'm going to have to work my way through these destroyed train cars and get out into these courtyards and stuff like that. And anyway, you're coming down off the side of a mountain, and you get to this point where you can lower yourself down, but it's like a long enough drop that you know that you can't turn back once you do that. And you're sort of looking over this area, and like right below you is the most like video game ass courtyard you've ever seen. It's like, oh man, something's gonna go down here. Like this is
But a waist high cover and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, oh, look at all the items blinking all over the place. I wonder what's gonna happen here. So like you just know, like, okay, so when I get down there, a creature's gonna appear and I'm gonna have to work my way across this courtyard. But then the other thing that they actually introduced in this level that I'm really digging is a throwback to the original movie. And it's been all over the place. So in the original movie, if you saw it, one of the ways that the humans mask the noise of walking around is they've poured sand all over the place because that softens the footfalls. And that's all over the place in this game too. In the first area, when you're in the hospital where everyone's living, all the hallways are covered in sand trails. So like if you can walk a little faster when you're walking on the sand because you don't make as much noise.
But you don't really walk in a rhythm.
No, you think of Tremors.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, so now
Dune, actually, Greg.
Hey, that sand gets everywhere.
Tremors was a better movie.
Whoa!
They've gotten to the point now where you can pick up sandbags and you can like spread sand in front of you. So if you want to move a little bit quickly through an area, you can do that. Of course, the sandbag will empty out eventually, and it adds stress to the character because you're holding this heavy sandbag. So, but again, yeah, I'm really still digging it, and they're still adding these gameplay elements that I'm enjoying a lot. So I think like I said, I'm closing in on the end of the game. The game moves slowly because you have to be so quiet, but I'm really liking the encounters a lot now too. So yeah, really loving it. I think that's probably going to be the first game I finish this year. The other game that I was playing a little bit this week, I was streaming it, is a Pioneer Laser Active game. Called Don Quixote, A Dream in Seven Crystals, which is a full motion video role-playing game. It's like a first-person RPG. I'm playing it in Japanese because one of the things with laser active games is games were only ever released in two regions, Japan and North America. And so any games that actually got released in both regions, normally what would happen is that they were bilingual. They had two voice tracks on them. So like, on Laserdisc, you could have multiple voice or audio tracks for different things. Like that's how same with like DVD or something. That's how you would do like director commentary or something. Like you just switch to the proper audio track. So yeah, it's not odd to play a laser active game, and depending on the language you're in, you're actually only getting sound out of one side or the other, one speaker or the other, if it's a stereo game, because it's like, well, the left channel is English, the right channel is Japanese, that sort of thing. But it made a lot of sense because where it was such a boutique item, everything was so expensive that why would they bother pressing specific regional versions rather than just making sure the label was the right language and the slipcase and everything was the right language, but the physical disc itself was the same in both regions. Don Quixote is, I think, the only exception to that rule. So if you have the Japanese version, you can only play it in Japanese and vice versa. So, and because those games are so expensive and I wanted a copy of this, the only one I was able to get and was able to afford is the Japanese version. So I'm muddling through this very late 90s style, because that's the last time I really played Japanese RPGs that I really couldn't understand. But yeah, I'm muddling through this, much to the point that I played it for an hour and a half the other night and never got out of the first town. But so I don't know what combat is like in it yet. But it's an interesting, much like most laser active games, it's an interesting premise where you're just wandering around this city in a first-person view, but movement is all it is you're triggering video files, and you're wandering through this town.
That town,
Trajan, I think,
as I was watching you stream this, that town without that map, I would have been completely
lost. Yeah. There's a little map.
There's no real like landmarks.
Well, it's the same video file playing over and over again.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you like get to a door and you knock on it and like either nobody's home or you go in. And it's so funny though, because while it's a full motion video game, you'll go in and like there's zero action in the frame. It's a full screen image, but the only action in the frame are whoever's talking to you, their lips are flapping, and that's it. Like everything in the background and the character themselves, like they're not animating in any way. But every now and then you'll trigger like a cutscene. But yeah, it's not supposed to be a very good game based on what I played of it. Yeah, that's probably true. But it's different, and it's something I haven't ever experienced, and it's something that I will eventually be covering on Generation 16, so I'm kind of capturing footage of this while I'm doing it. So this is an excuse for me to actually play it, to cover it at a later date. It does this other weird thing that I'm not surprised because it's a laser active game. I don't know why I feel like this isn't surprising, but so the whole intro is sort of anime it's animated, but in like it's an anime style scene, right? And when you see sort of the damsel in distress at the beginning, and then you meet Don Quixote, he wakes up from a dream, but like it's interspersed with real world footage of like the town you're supposed to be going to. Treja is the name of the town. So it's weird because you're in like this whole anime cutscene, and then all of a sudden it's like real world footage of a similar looking castle and a landscape
and a bridge,
the outskirts of a town and a bridge, which they added a little silhouette of a person, which is supposed to be Don Quixote. But the bridge is shot from a very low angle and it's very far away. So like you'd never know that that's not, it might actually be a person. Who knows the video quality? Maybe they did have someone just walking there. But then and then there's like a little corridor into the town that looks similar to the streets you're walking down when it's all animated again. But anyway, yeah, it was unique, a unique experience. I was kind of stuck the first night, but I figured out what I did wrong. So I'm going to stream it again on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Seward on Thursday night. And hopefully we'll get into the open area where we can actually see what combat looks like in that game.
Cool.
But yeah, that, and then I mean, otherwise I've been playing like more Gran Turismo 7, I finished a couple more decks in Balatro, so I've almost gotten to the point where I can unlock the challenges. I still haven't done that yet. I finished 4 decks. You need to finish 5 to unlock challenge mode.
Cool.
Still love that game.
Good.
Love it. That's it.
So
That's
you say
what I've been playing. I
Phil,
do say, and by the way, yes, Tremors is a great monster movie. I watched that again last night. Well,
Tremors
I watched
is a
it
great
for the first
movie.
time in forever last night.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in a long time, but Tremors.
I had completely forgotten that the little girl in Tremors is the granddaughter in Jurassic Park.
Oh, really?
I had because her whole shtick in that movie is that she's plays on a pogo stick, and she's like trying to set her own, like better her own record.
Right.
And they first show her hopping up and down this pogo stick, and I was like, wait a minute, that's the girl from Jurassic Park. But
yeah. It's Lex.
Lex, that's her name, right?
Tim and Lex. Timmy.
Yeah. So
Tim and Lex. Yeah.
little Timmy.
Yeah. Little Timmy.
No.
Noted.
And,
noted
Reba
game fan reader.
McEntire and the dad from Family Ties, and
Yep.
love star power in that movie.
True. All right, Phil.
Yes.
What have you been playing?
Oh my gosh, my new Ease game came out.
Ease.
By which I mean my old Ease game.
I was going to say, hasn't Othin Felgana been around for years?
This is Ease Memoir : The Othin Felgana, which is a. Let me see here if I can get through this.
Okay.
It's a 2025 US release of a 2024 port of a 2023 remaster of a 2005 remake of a 1989 Japanese PC game.
Wow.
So there's a lineage.
I see.
Because Othin Felgana is, at its core, a remake of Ease 3, Wanderers from Ease.
Okay.
And they remade it in 2005, and then it has been kind of shifted.
What system was it on? Was it on the PSP?
Oath and Felghana?
Yeah.
Oath and Felghana was originally on...
I'm sorry, I asked.
Yeah.
We'll go
It's
into
not
the
gonna be a
Wonder Boy
simple
series
answer.
after this,
I'll tell you that much.
and you'll be thankful for Ease history. The original Oath and Felghana was for Japanese PCs. We got it here in the US first as a PSP game.
So the answer to my question was yes.
I want to say, well, the answer was no with an asterisk.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I guess I was fishing for where did you first play it?
I first played it on the PSP.
PSP. Okay.
I first played it on PSP in 2010, I want to say. And then in 2000, because 2005 was when it was first released on Japanese PCs. What's that?
You didn't play it for PSP when it came out in the US? Wow, Greg's gone.
Greg's done. I played it on PSP when it first came out in 2010.
Oh, okay.
It originally came out on Japanese PCs in 2005, and it didn't come out here until it hit PSP in 2010.
So
2 years
PSP.
after that, in 2012, the PC version was finally translated into English, at which point I played it again on PC. It's available on Steam.
I see.
And then 11 years after that, they did the remaster, which was first on Switch.
Which leads us to today.
And which leads us to today.
Uh-oh, what do you got?
Which leads us to...
Oh, whoa! Special edition.
Which leads us to Ease Memoir, the Oath and Felghana Refined Edition.
Ooh,
available now for Switch and PS5/PS4.
In the US, or are those Play Asia imports?
These are US releases.
Really? Okay.
Got those. Huh?
Nice.
Yeah, got those from the Amazon. They come with...
What publisher puts out these in the US?
Xseed.
Xseed, okay. All right.
Xseed. It includes the game. It includes an acrylic diorama / keychain set. You get a CD soundtrack for that CD player you certainly have. 4 postcard sets and a microfiber cloth.
Some other game, it was Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, also had acrylic standee. I was like, what are they just giving you color forms?
Oh, but
like
no. Have you not seen acrylic standees?
I mean, I saw the one that was Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, and I was like, that doesn't look...
I'll tell you.
It's still like a flat...
It's
thing.
it's a flat piece of plastic.
Yeah.
Flat piece of acrylic with the characters painted on them. There's a little stand that you can plug them in.
Yeah.
Acrylic standees.
That's a big thing now? Or...
Oh, God, they're all over the place in, like, video game... like Japanese video game merchandise special editions. It's the new thing that they're doing instead of like statues. Presumably because
it's cheaper.
It is infinitely cheaper to print a design on a flat piece of acrylic.
No kidding.
Than it is to make a whole statue.
Yeah. Did you? Well, so we didn't talk about this in the news, but I watched the Yakuza or the direct that they did.
Yeah.
Last week, and I'm pretty hyped for the game. I'm gonna pre-order it because it has an Ichiban cosmetic that I think I need.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe you can only get that through pre-ordering.
Yes.
So I'll do that.
Yep.
But I saw the other contents of the special edition. I was like, acrylic standee. That doesn't look desirable at all. But okay.
No, they're everywhere.
I guess it's a thing. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got one of my buddies at work. Is a loves like it follows a lot of like K-pop bands and stuff, and like a lot of their merchandise. Are like acrylic standees of the K-pop performers and things like that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Dustin McKenzie in our chat saying I see him at Artist Alley convention or Artist Alleys at conventions all the time. Exactly. Actually, the same guy at work went to some like anime con and brought back a bunch of fan art, acrylic keychains and stuff. He was nice enough. He got me a Kamen Rider one, which I have on my work bag now. It's very nice.
Very nice. Okay.
Acrylic standees are like the hot
That's
new
the big thing.
Yeah, piece of merchandise swag to include in your special editions. Because like we were saying, a lot cheaper to produce than a statue. So, but I got a new old Ease game.
Did you start playing the game?
Of course, I did.
Enjoying the now. Which platform did you start it on? Did it Switch or PS5?
I'm playing it on the PS5.
Oh, okay.
I'm playing it on the PS5.
But isn't it just why on PS5? I'm curious.
I just kind of assumed it would run better.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
what I feel about any smaller game. It's like I should probably just get it on PS5, not Switch, because it's going to run better.
I obviously bought it on both because I'm a big Ease nerd.
Yep.
And you're going to expect that from me. But yes, I'm playing it on PS5 just because, again,
it probably is better.
I did no research into this. I do not know, but I'm guessing it probably runs better on PS5.
Okay.
And it's great. I mean, Oath and Felghana is one of the better, if not the best, Ease games. It's just that series kind of boiled down to its pure essence, running through dungeons, hacking up monsters, earning your XP, collecting items. I absolutely adore it. It's a little too chatty at the beginning, and it's like the story is fine, but it tends to kind of over-explain itself. So I'm kind of tapping through. Let's get to the dungeon crawling. That's why I'm here.
I see.
But once I get into the action, it is loads of fun. The areas are great, fun to explore. Love the hacky slashy stuff. The bosses are somewhat notoriously difficult, which is fine by me. I mean, that's kind of what you go into Ease expecting. And you occasionally have to go back and grind as per the Ease formula, but because the action is so fast, grinding is actually kind of fun in this game, so I don't mind. And I'm having I'm a few hours into it, and it's great to play it again. One of my favorites. Good to be back in the Oath of Felghana. The Oath in Felghana. So that's mainly what I've been playing this week.
Okay.
I've been you know what? I talking about watching TV shows. I started watching a TV show with my boy this week. He came to me wanting to watch because all the kids are talking about it.
Deal or No Deal Island. I know, right?
Deal or No Deal Island. Is that a thing?
It is.
Is that a real thing?
It is a real thing that exists. They just started the second season of it, and I'm watching it because
oh my god.
Well, I watched the first episode because two really good Survivor players are on it. One from Australia Survivor, the Australian Survivor, like one of the best player. Like he did some crazy shit on that.
You and your reality shows.
It's only well, okay. I shouldn't just say it's only Survivor now.
Exactly.
Now it's Deal or No Deal Island.
Yeah, exactly.
But I enjoy reality shows that have game mechanics in them.
Right.
So like you're watching a game of Among Us basically at a certain point, right? And it's fun to watch. And I think the last season of Survivor was maybe my favorite of the entire. They've done 47.
Good lord.
Last season was so good. So good. And I got third in my fantasy critic league or fantasy league for Survivor. Because
you're involved in a Survivor fantasy league?
Yes.
Jesus. This just gets worse and worse.
Yes.
Okay.
But Deal or No Deal Island is a thing. It mixes Survivor with Deal or No Deal, and Howie Mandel shows up, and it's weird.
Because Howie Mandel's the host of Deal or No, was,
he
right?
was the host. Yeah, he's the producer of this, and is not
he's
the host.
He's not the host anymore.
It's Joe. What's his name? Angelo.
That like hunky, like beefy dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
So.
Okay.
Anyway, what were you saying? The show that all the kids are watching, Deal or No Deal Island.
It's Deal or No Deal Island. Yeah,
That's
you
right.
kind of took the wind out of my sails
The
there.
answer to that.
To put it in
Sorry.
terms you'll understand.
Yeah.
No, the kids don't give two poots about Deal or No Deal Island.
Yeah.
The kids are all hyped up about the Squid Games.
Oh, Squid Game.
Squid Games are back.
Squid Games, yeah. I watched the first episode of season 2.
Is that an appropriate television show to be watching with children? I mean, Pearl Clutch.
I mean, I can tell. Yeah, I mean, what have you been showing your kids?
The worst thing she's seen is probably Violent Night, the David Harbour horror movie where he's Santa Claus.
It's pretty violent.
It's a
I mean,
great
it was
movie,
was
though.
great. It was
It's such a
great. I don't know
great
that I'd
movie.
take
Oh, my
my
goodness.
12-year-old to see it, but it was great.
She saw it and loved it.
I had not seen any of the Squid Game.
Oh, me neither.
So and he certainly didn't see it. You know, he wanted to watch it when like the first season came out. We were like, let's hold off a little bit. But now it's like, he's just shy of 13, so it's like, you know what? Let's do it. I'll watch it with you.
Okay.
I mean, because I wanted to see it anyway, but I will watch it with you just in case you get freaked out or anything. So we've watched the first, probably like the first half of the first season so far, and he is loving it. There's definitely been a couple moments where he was like, "Oh wow, this is really gory," yeah, it's But
Go back and
so-
watch Battle Royale with him then.
no, that's true. The real,
I need to sit down with my daughter, my 17-year-old daughter,
yeah,
and watch Battle Royale.
it's a good movie.
I know
That is
she'd
a good
like it.
movie.
Don't worry about
Is
the
that
second one.
available in the U.S. widely now? Because remember, that was the big thing. Oh, it's too
I don't-
violent
I don't.
for the U.S.
I mean, there's got to be.
Battle Royale, really?
Wasn't that a big thing?
I didn't
It
know that was
like-
an issue.
Oh, I thought it was.
I mean, I have a DVD for this region.
Oh, maybe.
Are you sure you're not thinking of Dead Alive?
Well, I think if I remember correctly, Battle Royale did take a couple of years to get released over here.
Oh, I just
Yeah,
assumed it
I had a
was
video CD of it.
when it
Oh,
finally
yeah,
hit
yeah.
like critical mass that it was worth releasing it over here. I didn't realize it was because they couldn't release it over here.
I don't know if it was.
You're probably right.
I don't know if it was a could or couldn't, but yeah, they probably just figured there wasn't a big enough market. I don't know.
And then PUBG came out, and people realized.
Yeah, I don't know
the
if
same
Battle.
thing.
I mean, I'm sure Battle Royale is available like on Blu-ray or something.
It
but-
probably is. Yeah.
yeah. But whatever the case is, Squid Game is good stuff.
Is it good? Okay.
I'm enjoying it.
I started
Finn's-
watching a new anime on
Oh, really?
Netflix.
What's that?
It's called Sakamoto Days.
Okay.
It is about a hitman who is retired and now runs a convenience store, and he's no longer a hitman. He's a family man, except the criminal underworld wants to kill him.
Isn't this
So they
nobody?
keep- Oh, maybe. So they basically like send enemies after him, and yeah, hijinks ensue.
Every
Kinda
time he
reminds
tries
me
to
of-
get out.
A little bit of Trigun, oddly, where the hero is sort of hapless and ends up wanted by all these bounty hunters, but then sort of stumbles into destroying them.
No.
But it's from the creator of Ice Shield 21. That was,
Oh.
of course, the American football
Right. Right.
anime and manga. So it's kind of interesting. The first episode's up on Netflix. I thought it was good. That's all I have to say about it. I
That's
didn't watch that one with my daughter.
ah
It's violent.
oh
But we did finish up at Ranma and a half.
well, good.
It's so good, and they're doing a second season. I'm very
Has,
happy.
has that been officially
Yeah,
announced? Okay, I kind of assumed they would,
yeah,
since like all the key art and stuff has like moose in it, and
yeah.
Characters that were not introduced in the first part.
Did you watch? Have you watched all of it yet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I
My
did.
daughter very happy how they handled Shampoo in the new dub. She was like, at least they don't make her.
Yeah, boy, the original dub, that was a real choice.
It was some
Look, it was
kind of
the
choice.
it was the 90s.
Yeah.
Well, at first we were watching the remake, and she's like, "I want to see what happens next. Let's watch the old one."
Oh
So we did, and
yeah.
it was like the Chinese tour guide was
Oh, yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, whoa!" And then Shampoo on the screen. And she was like, "Oh, well, at least they don't have her speaking in broken English." Like,
Yeah.
it works. The new run was really great.
Yes.
And you can tell it's a very slow news day. And we don't have any tweets. We're
Talking about what anime we've been watching.
About what anime we've been watching.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway.
So there's that. Oh, I watched the new Wallace and Gromit as well.
Oh, yeah. You know,
And
video game news, they just announced that some kind of Power Wash Simulator Wallace and Gromit thing is going to happen in March.
That's true.
Yeah.
It is very true. I am a big fan of Aardman.
Yeah.
All their existing projects. All their upcoming projects.
I bet you are.
I'm very excited about what Aardman has in the future. Excuse me, I'm just going to have a drink real quick.
Yeah. And did you play the Wallace and Gromit Walkabout mini golf course?
No, not yet.
You haven't? Oh,
I know you.
We should play that together.
You are hoping.
We should get you on the links.
You're trying to
on a Saturday
to lure me into your.
It's fun.
Weird little.
And that course is really good.
Mini golf really
cult. You should
through
try
that
it.
Wallace and Gromit back door. I do need to play. I actually need to sit down and play that the VR game as well. The Wallace and Gromit VR game, which I played a little bit of and need to actually go back and finish. But the new one, really quite good. Really quite good.
Yeah, cool.
It's a sequel to their, I believe is the second short, the Wrong Trousers.
Okay.
Which I rewatched before watching the new movie. Oh my goodness, friggin' love Aardman. My goodness. But anyway, that's it. Playing ease, watching some Wallace and Gromit.
My daughter, by the way, loves. I think I've mentioned that she loves Batman: Arkham Shadow.
Yeah.
Convinced my wife to get a Quest 3S so that she can play it.
Jeez.
Not at my house.
Wow.
Play it over at her mom's house. So.
Wow.
Yeah, and hey, cloud saves. She was able to.
Oh.
Bring her progress right over. So.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Still loving that. Beating up thugs and going through Blackgate prison.
Oh. Well, good.
Anyway, that's a good game, that Batman game.
Is it?
Yeah.
Good. Oh, speaking of Batman centric games, well, it's not really centric, but I guess Batman adjacent games. Mm-hmm. That Suicide Squad game is now on PS Plus.
Yeah, did you try it?
I haven't. You know what? I'm tempted to do so though.
You could just stream it and not even have to worry about downloading it.
Yeah. Because I know people have been kind of, it's not good, which it may very well not be. But
yeah,
I will admit, deep down, I was always a little curious, just because just to see the story or whatever. So
sure.
Now that I can do it for free,
I heard it's not that bad. Like
people
are pissed at it because of the live service stuff,
right?
But I heard the game itself is not like a stinking turd.
I mean, can you kind of just go through like a story mode
think
without
you can, yeah,
without dealing with any of the
pretty
gas?
similar. Well, the Avengers was kind of that way too. You could do that if
Yeah.
you wanted to.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
by the
maybe
way, on PS Plus, the Stanley Parable is now available on PS Plus. It's one of the other free games. Highly recommend that you play that as well.
And that's a Marvel game, right?
No, it's not. It's Blumhouse horror.
Oh. Okay.
No, it's not.
CJ didn't get it.
No.
I didn't get that at all either. No, but
especially the way that you actually pronounce Stanley there.
Yeah,
I really thought you were in on it.
The Stan Lee Parable is what
now
you said.
I get it. Thank you.
But I mean, you originally pronounced it that way when you were bringing it up. So
no.
Yeah, anyway,
well, I didn't.
There we go.
I didn't mean to.
Much Golder in the chat. I heard Stanley as well. We're not. Thank you. Thank you for confirming.
Ultra Deluxe. You should play that on PS Plus. It's really,
I've heard that as a good game.
It is a fantastic game.
Yeah. Is that kind of a short game?
It can be.
What does that mean?
It's cryptic.
Yeah, really.
It can be it can be as long or short as you want it to be.
Yeah,
it's one of those games
how we like it.
That has it's sort of like branching paths. And there's a narrative, and you can do one path all the way to its very end, and then do the other section and there's all multiple branches within it, and it's good fun. I think you will like it, Phil. It's a Phil game.
I'll give it a go.
It's a Phil
at some point.
Game.
You know the thank goodness you're here.
Greg is like, when are we gonna just end?
You done? Greg's sick of us. I get it.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
You know that thank goodness you're here game that you so recently played?
Yes.
You know you can finish that game in like 15 minutes? If you're fast.
Not surprised by that. Is there a speed run of it on GDQ?
But there isn't. Well, there may be. I don't know.
There's probably a speed run of it on the internet.
As long as there's someone playing Offspring music over it.
Bad religion.
Do you want to know? You want to know how to? You want a spoiler?
I don't. No, don't tell me.
You don't want a spoiler?
No.
Okay, I won't spoil it.
Okay.
But you can finish that game in like 15 minutes.
Okay.
If you decide to do a second run after you play through it legit the first time, because you do actually get a trophy for speedrunning it.
Oh, okay. So you did it.
Huh?
So you did it.
Oh, I absolutely did.
Okay.
So we can talk about it later after you finish the game.
Okay.
Anyway, that's it. I
think that's our show. I think that's it.
Is that our show?
The end.
No one sent us tweets.
No one.
Or blue skies.
No.
It's the beginning of the end.
Yeah. Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on the Twitter or the Blue Skies or Threads or any of those places. Or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find a contact information.
You were so close.
So close. Contact information. You'll find our blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Stewart. You'll find Generation 16 episodes, and you'll find show notes and links to all the things we talked about during this episode, alongside a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening app. We're also on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtube.com/P1 podcast, or you can watch us live most weeks on the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the Twitch televisions, all over the dang place. Follow one of our many social media accounts to find out when we are doing our next live show. Typically, it is Sunday evenings at 5:30, the specific time. So join us, won't you? And I'll tell you what, if you like what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 podcast, throw a few shekels our way. I don't know. We like your money. Greg needs more obscure laser active games to flesh out his collection.
That's true.
Yeah, maybe we can get him that English version of Don Quixote.
I think that would be good use of the show funds.
Unlikely.
You know what? While you were
Wow.
discussing that, Greg, I went on the old Electronic Bay and looked up Don Quixote for laser active, and I saw a couple copies of the Japanese version for sale, ranging in price from like $350 to $500.
Mm-hmm.
What is there were no copies of the US version currently.
Don't remember. I haven't looked at this
remember.
First. You know what? You want to have some fun? Go look up Time Gal on the laser active.
Oh, I know that one is like stupid expensive.
Like well over $5,000 usually.
Man, oh man. I mean, I like Time Gal.
And I don't have that yet, so please support
there
the
you
show.
go. Greg needs a copy of Time Gal. Go Patreon us. Come on. It's Time Gal. No, we of course use your Patreon funds for keeping this going and everything.
All that stuff.
So, yeah. I'll tell you what. As a special thank you, as a courtesy to you, our wonderful Patreon supporters, we do a special weekly bonus episode. We record it right after this, where we play games, crack-wise, having fun, doing all that stuff we can't do on the regular show. CJ.
Yes.
Do we have a game this week?
Phil, let me tell you a little story.
Oh, yeah, I'm settling in.
About a video game magazine called GamePro.
GamePro?
GamePro, known for doing captions that have pro tips. Pro tip. Etc. etc.
Is this a new game that you've developed?
This is a new game.
I feel like we've done this before.
I don't think we have.
Okay.
We're going to be flying by the seat of our pants because I haven't even looked at this issue of GamePro, but we're going to be
my goodness.
the January 1995 issue of GamePro magazine. I'm going to be looking at pro tips, reading them, blanking out the game name, character name, etc. to see if you can guess what the game is that these pro tips are for. So
this is going to be a disaster.
This could be a disaster.
I predict.
We're workshopping it.
I'm not saying it won't be entertaining, but I am going to say that it will be a disaster that will probably end with Greg and I tied at 0 all.
Could be.
Because if I remember GamePro, and you know what? People poo-poo on GamePro these days.
Yeah.
That's very
unfair.
I read GamePro also.
A ton of GamePro, and I loved GamePro back then.
You know what? Looking back on GamePro, GamePro knew its audience.
Oh, absolutely.
They served its audience so well.
Yes. I genuinely
respect for that magazine.
Yeah. I
have
love
a ton of respect
GamePro.
for that magazine too. Yeah.
There was a reason why GamePro was as popular as it was. And it was very popular.
Yes, it was.
So, as much as I love GamePro, I do remember a lot of those pro tips, or at least the memories I have of them have kind of congealed into this sort of lump of they were very broad.
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
Spot to damage the enemy, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But maybe my memory is faulty. It has been many years, and I am a feeble old man.
Well, we're going to find out just how feeble in the after show.
Oh, it's pretty feeble.
So take a listen.
Join us for that then. This should be fun. I actually do like this idea. I'm excited. I'm excited about this.
We'll try it.
We'll see what happens. I am genuinely looking forward to it. And I hope you are too, dear listener. And I'll tell you what, you gain access to that bonus show if you are a Patreon subscriber of the $5 tier.
Cheap.
And I'll tell you what, if you have a couple bucks left over, why don't you go to patreon.com/Greg Seward and help support Greg's Outstanding. And it is outstanding web series about North America's favorite runner-up. The only place where you're going to find someone talking about Don Quixote for the Laser Active, which of course had a Sega Sega component,
The Mega LD
the Mega LD. You could play Genesis games
and Sega CD games.
and Sega CD on your Laser Active. I'm referring, of course, to his show, Generation 16.
Thank you, Phil. And if you are a supporter of the $3 variety,
Also cheap.
you can join Satan in watching all my videos 1 week early.
Oh, I love it. Don Quixote is one of my favorite video games, so I'm excited to hear you eventually discuss this game.
Thank you, Satan.
You are very welcome.
Please consider supporting the show.
I think that's a great idea. You like my sultry
No,
devil whisper?
no, it's unsettling.
I'm the devil whisperer. And I whisper sweet devil nothings in your ear, tempting you to do wrong, sinful things, like a devil do.
What am I hearing?
Loves it. I have a lot of fans here in hell. They're getting a kick out
Yeah.
of it.
Guess so.
Well, that sounds lovely, Greg. I think that's going to be great. Is that it then?
That's it.
CJ,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
Absolutely. Gregory.
Yo.
So thank you as well.
Thank you, Philip.
Obviously. And a big old thank you to you, our wonderful, wonderful listeners. Every single darned one of you. As always, take care of yourself, your loved one, your family, your friends. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself. And we hope to see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.